I just think that there are so many entry points right now to AI. I mean, we kind of talked about it since the ChatGPT moment at the end of 2022 as the the most pervasive in and outside of technology, the most pervasive trend that we're going to be experiencing and are experiencing now. So that means it applies to every application. It applies to every layer of the stack. It applies both within it as something like a feature or a capability. We're seeing more and more in SaaS and software, just to pick one layer, as well as a way to manage these stacks and applications and their interactions with each other. So I just starting to feel like I don't know how to advise myself, my clients, customers at this particular point in time as to what the best avenue of pursuit is for them, strategically speaking, because we are seeing so many different ways in which AI is being added or used, and so many different ways of adding or using it too. Big models, small models, agentic, working together, working at the edge, anyway. My talking about it makes me feel chaotic.
Yeah, it's like drinking from a hose, right? I mean, if you see what's happening in the market, there's so many new models, new frameworks, and it's very difficult for people to start working on a project only to realize that something new came out, a new framework, a new model. And I think from that perspective, it becomes a little bit chaotic for the simple reason that people don't know exactly anymore what's right for them to use because there's so many different options. And the other challenge is you don't know if it's good for you or not unless you use it. And so it's kind of a like I think NVIDIA is calling it the flywheel. It's almost like it doesn't stop.
Absolutely. Cats and dogs living together, right? So,
Yeah, I know. What's the world coming
yeah.
to exactly?
No, but it really doesn't stop, and I think that that's the thing that's really been challenging for us because Futurum is a very AI first company. Fens is obviously out there on the cutting edge of all of this technology, and I think the three of us are trying to keep up, up to speed with everything that's happening, and yet it's challenging for us. Can you imagine what it must be like for people whose job isn't focused on AI?
Right, exactly. And even if you kind of know what you want to do, the supply chain is not really helping you, right? So even if you know that you want to build something and it's going to take a certain amount of hardware, the supply chain is adding to the chaos, to the sense that not only is it more expensive, you don't know when you're going to get it. So a lot of people are trying to find different approaches. For example, some of our customers that typically were on-prem are now going to a neo cloud because the neo cloud has the capacity and it's somewhat predictable. But it's a little bit like during the COVID days. People also went from on-prem to the public clouds and then eventually came back. So it's an additional level of chaos, if you ask me.